Hey, what's going on, future Devil Dogs? Tony here from For the Core. Today I want to talk to you guys about preparing for Marine Corps basic training. I say future Devil Dogs because that's who this video is for. It's for those of you guys and gals who are looking to join the Marine Corps. You want some questions answered. It's a big commitment. All right, I remember it like it was yesterday. I was nervous. I couldn't find any information out there on the internet because back in 2010, there was like no videos on YouTube about the Marine Corps. So I relied on the Marines.com website, and all that is a big sales pitch. They don't really give you the raw details. Sure, you kind of have an idea of what you're going to go through, and it looks fun. But, I'm here to shed some light, and I want to give you guys a different perspective on this stuff, right? I've been out of the Marine Corps for 6.5 years now, and loved every bit of it, but I'm not here to give you the same information that people are giving out there. Sure, I'll cover a lot of it, but I hope that I can give you a different perspective. So let's get into it, guys. This video is preparing for Marine Corps basic training. So I'm going to give you guys 10 things that you should be doing and preparing for before you leave for basic training. All right? Number 1, start going to bed earlier. It's no surprise you're going to have to wake up early in boot camp. And if you can get in the habit of waking up earlier, you don't have to just jump the gun and go right to 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning. But if you're already doing that, like, good on you, kudos. Keep doing it. But if you're one of those guys that were like me, when I joined, I was playing Xbox till 4 in the morning and I wasn't waking up till like noon or 1 o'clock the next day. All right, that was me in high school. So I would encourage you guys to, if you're doing that or if you're waking up late, just gradually make those changes. If you got 6 months before you leave for the Marine Corps, the first month, wake up 30 minutes early. After that, wake up 30 more minutes early. After that, wake up an hour earlier. And then just keep doing that until you're in the habit of waking up at 5, 6, 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is that you want to shoot for. But if you can get in that habit before you leave for basic training, I think you'll be one step ahead of the game. It won't be as big of a shock because when you get to boot camp, you're getting thrown so many different directions, and it's a lot to take in. So the point of this video is to just kind of give you guys a one-up on everybody else and prepare the right way. Number 2, become more disciplined, right? You want to have self-discipline before you go in the Marine Corps, guys, because that's what they're expecting of you. They're trying to instill that basic discipline so that you can become a basically trained Marine. So do things like make your bed, or do your own laundry, or cut the grass without being told. Do all these things that'll just help you, right? They'll build that in your mindset. Like, you want to just be more self-disciplined. You don't have to have someone telling you to do things, all right? You just do them on your own because it's the right thing to do, all right? I used to play a game with myself, and I still do to this day. It could be something as little as, I should take the trash out. In my mind, I'm like, nah, I can wait till tomorrow. But if I have that shed of doubt in my mind that I'm like, no, if I tell myself I should take the trash out right now, I just do it. I go against what my subconscious mind is telling me to do or telling me not to do. That's a little tool that I've been using for, as long as I can remember, and you develop it over time, guys. So it's a mindset, and there's another thing that you can do before you leave for boot camp. Number 3, check your ego, all right? In boot camp, if you're one of those people who are self-centered and think that it's all about you, you're in for a rude awakening, guys, because all you're hurting is yourself, for one, and 2, the rest of your platoon mates. So it's mass punishment in boot camp, and I'll cover more on that as the video progresses. But if you're doing things and not really looking out for the team, like, you're going to pay for it, man. The drill instructors are going to see that. Your platoon mates are going to see that. And, you're just going to have a living hell. So, you want to be able to just focus on the bigger picture of things and not just yourself. All right, number 4, be self-critical. All right, you don't want to be too self-critical to where it hinders your performance, but you want to be self-critical enough to where you can, build confidence in yourself. You can look back and see your mistakes that you made and learn from them, right? All too often, people tend to either be too self-critical to where they tend to overthink things, and they just become afraid, and they start to judge their actions and the things that they're doing, and then it just holds them back. But if you're just self-critical enough to where you can realize, like, okay, I just made a mistake, and what could I have done differently? How could I have learned from it? And the thing that also you got to get in the habit of is, on this topic, is if somebody corrects you on a mistake, don't take that shit personally. That's one of my biggest pet peeves in life is when somebody does something wrong. When I was a manager at Amazon after the Marine Corps, if one of my employees did something wrong, I would never come at them in a way that was arrogant or, oh, I'm the manager, you know what I mean? But rather, I would just tell them, like, hey, what could you have done differently? And, a lot of people took it great, but there was those select few who, man, they would get like super defensive, and then they'll place the blame on other people, like immediately. They'll just try and blame somebody else for it, when I knew 100% that it was their mistake. And I mean, that was one of those things where, like, if you did that on a regular basis, like, I had no confidence in you. That's just not a good quality to have. So if you can get in the habit of just training yourself to be more self-critical, and be able to learn from your mistakes and take that criticism, you'll just be better off, guys. Because in the Marine Corps, you got to have thick skin. You're going to be getting called out for a lot of things. The better prepared you can be for that, the better off you'll be. All right, number five, develop a sense of urgency. Now, in the Marine Corps, it's no secret. It's just constant chaos, super fast paced. You're always on the move, and really, like, there's never any downtime. So if you can develop this sense of urgency now in anything that you're doing, you could have a part-time job, or you could be doing anything, your chores around your house for your parents, whatever it is. If you could just start doing things quicker, move with a purpose, move with the sense of urgency. Don't just be moping around with the vacuum, or don't just be like, if you're stocking groceries at a grocery store, don't be that guy who takes 20 minutes to do a job that can take 4 minutes. All right, that's another one of my biggest pet peeves. In my current role today in my job, it's like I work with people who, it's like I wonder, like, how you got through life, right, at the pace that you move, because it's almost embarrassing. And so just don't do it, right? Train yourself now, move with the sense of purpose, sense of urgency, and you'll be better off, guys, because it's very fast paced, and you don't want to be that guy that's slowing down, especially like if you're on a run, right? I wouldn't call running or PTing moving with a sense of urgency, but you can look at it that way, right? You're running, you got a drill instructor behind you screaming at you, so you should have a sense of urgency to try and get away from him. You don't want to be the guy who's constantly falling out of the runs and getting in the safety vehicle, because that's just embarrassing, for one. Like, you're training to be a Marine, all right? Don't be one of those freaking fat bodies or just lazy people, man. Like, the Marine Corps doesn't want you, all right? So if that's you, consider going to another branch or start working harder. Number 6, develop the ability to follow orders. Now, I don't know. This might not be difficult for most of you guys because you have parents and they tell you what to do and when to do it and things like that. But if you're one of those kids who are just a little asshole to your parents and don't listen to them when they tell you to do things, you should start changing those habits and start listening to them, because when you get to boot camp, there's not any of that going to be happening, right? You're not going to tell your drill instructor no, because if you do, you're going to PT till you die. So, and then you'll probably bring in most of your platoon with you. So keep that in mind. Like, boot camp is so fast paced, and your drill instructors are constantly doing things and telling you to do things, and they're counting down, right? So it could be something as simple as when they call lights, lights, lights in the morning, it's just chaos. Like, people are jumping out of the racks, like freaking out. You just woke up out of a deep sleep. All of a sudden, your drill instructors are like running back and forth, just total chaos. All right, and they're telling you things like, put your socks on, right? And then they're like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, counting down real quick. And when they get to 0, you do not want to be that person or individual who is still bending over trying to put your socks on, right? The whole point of those countdowns is to see how well you can follow a basic order of just stop moving at 0, right? I don't know how many times I saw guys do that. It's like they couldn't get it in their head that everything they did, they were going to fail at. That's just boot camp. The drill instructors want you to fail everything you do. All right, so if you're putting on your boot blouses, or if you're putting on your blouse, you gotta button it up. If they tell you to stop at 0, you damn well better stop moving at 0, all right? Because you're gonna get called up to the quarterdeck and you're just gonna be just getting PT'd till you wanna die, man. Like, that's just all it is just stop moving at 0 and you'll be fine, okay? So, like I said, your drill instructors are constantly gonna demand speed, volume, and intensity, and they want you to just be able to follow basic orders. Like, that's the whole basis of boot camp. That's what it's designed to do, is to instill that discipline in you, to make you a basically trained Marine, all right? So, develop that sense of urgency and be able to follow simple orders. All right, number 7, quit eating sugar and junk food, because our bodies get used to what we eat. So if you're constantly eating junk food and sugar, your body's gonna be reliant on it, right? So when you stop eating it, you start eating healthy, like you're gonna be doing, you're gonna be eating balanced, healthy meals in boot camp, your body's gonna go through a shock, right? You're gonna have a bloated stomach maybe, maybe you're gonna have some sugar withdrawals because all you do is eat candy and shit. But you know, if you can get in the habit of stop eating junk food and start eating a more balanced diet, right? Train your body to be able to take in the good nutrients that it's looking for, rather than just eating sugar and cookies and shit all the time. Because in boot camp, you're not gonna be able to do that. Like the sweetest thing you get is maybe some Gatorade powder. I mean, I don't know what they do nowadays. Back then we just had, peanut butter packets in the chow hall, but maybe some Gatorade powder that came in an MRE, but there was no like actual Gatorades and shit like that. So, get in the habit of eating healthy and you'll be better off. Number 8, stop feeling like you're entitled, all right? Because you're not. When you go to boot camp, you're no better than the person to your left or to your right? You're all equal. You're all Marine Corps recruits. You're at the bottom of the barrel. You're the lowest of the low, and your drill instructors do not discriminate, all right? They don't give a shit if you came from a poor background or you were Bill Gates' son. Like, you're just a recruit, and they don't give a shit about you, all right? All they want to see you do is put speed, volume, intensity out there, give 110%, and show them that you want to be a Marine, right? You want to earn that title, because it's just not like a Boy Scout retreat. Like, you're going there to do something that so many people can't do or so many people are unable to do, right? You're earning the title of United States Marine, and there's no better feeling that I've experienced than earning that title, guys, and getting my Eagle Globe and Anchor. So I can just tell you, like, we had guys who were early 30s. We had like 1 or 2 guys in my platoon. They were just at that threshold, the cutoff age where, they weren't able to join, but they got in, and you could just tell it was a shock for them, because here they are with a lot of kids who are just fresh out of high school, myself included, and they thought they were better than us. What I found was the drill instructors, they don't care about that. They don't care how old you are or if you got family and kids. Like I said, you're at the bottom of the barrel. You're all the same. You're all recruits. So you don't want to be that guy or gal who looks down on other people because of your age. Like, you think you're experienced. That's awesome. You do have more experience, but in boot camp, it doesn't matter. Maybe if you are 30 or in your 20s or whatever age you are, maybe you're already doing a lot of these things that I've been talking about today. Maybe you're already getting up early. You already eat healthy. You have your ego in check. You're self-critical. You have all these things, which is great because that just makes you more prepared for basic training. But when you get to boot camp, you're equals, all right? I'm gonna pause right there. I wanna ask you guys, how old are you guys? Put it in the comments. Like, are you guys coming out of high school? Have you guys already signed up for the Marine Corps? Like, are you scheduled to go to boot camp on a certain date? Like, drop it all down below. I'd like to hear how old every single one of you are. Number 9, you want to embrace fear, right? As human beings, it's in our DNA, like the fight or flight response. Like, we run away from things that we're afraid of. And in the Marine Corps, if you can develop the habit of not doing that, but rather embracing it and running towards fear, you'll be that much better off. Because the Marine Corps puts you in a lot of uncomfortable situations. You're gonna do a lot of things that you don't wanna do. A lot of things are scary. You're gonna have to get out there and call cadence. Maybe you're gonna have to give a speech to your guys. But at the end of the day, if you can just develop that habit to embrace fear, look at it as a learning experience, because that's all failure is. Fear, fear is false evidence appearing real. So in our minds, subconsciously, we're telling ourselves, this is scary. I don't want to do this. Like giving a speech. not all of you have given a speech. I've given quite a few, and I still get nervous to this day, right? Before I get up there, I start talking to myself like negatively. I'm like, this could go wrong, or I'm gonna mess this up, or I didn't plan well enough. And all these things, you just start freaking yourself out, and your mind doesn't know the difference between reality and what you're just thinking. So you scare yourself, and oftentimes you just end up running away from it, or just canceling whatever it is that you're doing. So if you could just embrace that fear and understand that on the other side of fear and failure, it's just an amazing learning experience, guys. So that's number 9. I save that for the end there because I think that's an important quality to have, the ability to embrace fear rather than run away from it. All right, and lastly, number 10, you want to develop a why. All right, why it is you're there. Why are you joining the Marine Corps in the first place? Why do you want to become a Marine? You got to ask yourself these things, and you have to have a why. Maybe it's because your family, you have a legacy to carry on. Maybe your grandfather, your father, your uncle, you've got relatives who are all Marines, and you're here to carry on that legacy. Or maybe you're doing it because it's something you always wanted to do. Maybe you're doing it because you want to accept the challenge of becoming the 1%. All right? Whatever it is, have that why. Know it. Put it in the back of your mind so when times get tough, because they're going to get tough, the boot camp and the Marine Corps in general is not easy, right? I look at the Marine Corps as 50-50, right? 50% of it sucked, 50% of it was awesome. Like, that's just how it is. I would recommend not joining the Marine Corps for the job that you're doing, but the experience. The Marine Corps is such an amazing gun club to be a part of, and when times get tough, you want to be able to dig that why out of the back of your mind and know why it is that you're there doing what you're doing and going through all that shit. All right, so lastly, I'm just going to leave you with embrace the suck. That's the motto that I held in my head, and I still do to this day. I'm the guy at work now when shit's hitting the fan. Like, I'm loving it. You know what I mean? I just embrace the suck. Like, if it's an uncomfortable situation or if it's just busy, balls to the wall, like, I thrive in that environment, and you guys will too if you just develop these small little things, start training your mind, and boot camp's going to be a breeze for you. Not necessarily, it's still going to be a pain in the ass, but you'll be one step ahead of the game. All right, so if you like this video, found it helpful in any way, smash that like button. Again, drop your age in the comment section below. Share a little bit of your story. I'd love to hear from you guys. This is Tony from For the Corps, Semper Fi.